This is the opening category round. Each team begins with 100 points. Each question is worth 10 points up or down, and each answer begins with the letter P. Here's number 1. The point nearest Earth in a satellite's orbit.
Poquoson Mike.
Pedigree.
It's perigee. Sorry, Mike, perigee. The young hero of Dickens' great...
Salem John.
Pip. Pip, of Great Expectations. That's correct. The Italian town with the famous...
Poquoson Matt.
Padua.
Nope, the famous Leaning Tower. It's Pisa. Sorry, Matt. This extends from the nasal cavities to the larynx.
Poquoson Matt.
Pharynx.
That's right, the pharynx. The ancient Greek who had the theorem about the length of the
Salem John.
Pythagoras.
Pythagoras, the Pythagorean theorem about the length of the hypotenuse. That's correct. A member of Rome's first triumvirate.
Poquoson Matt.
Publius.
Nope. The first triumvirate with Caesar and Crassus, it was Pompey. Pompey. 4-letter football kick, usually on...
Poquoson Craig.
Punt.
A punt, right, usually on 4th down. Highly reactive, non-metal...
Poquoson Mike.
Plutonium.
With the symbol P. Sorry, Mike, it's phosphorus. That's the end of that round. I'm Jim Newsom, and this is the championship game of It's Academic, where Hampton Roads area high school students compete in a game of knowledge and quick recall. Please help me welcome to the final round the Poquoson Islanders and the Salem Sun Devils. Let us check the score after the opening category round, a tough one. It's Salem 120 and Poquoson 80. Now, before we went on the air, we tossed a coin to decide who would take the first set of team questions. Poquoson won the toss and elected to take that first set. Before we meet the Islanders, let's bring out the Poquoson High School cheerleaders. Okay, let us meet the folks from the Bowl Island, beginning with Craig Freeman. And Craig, you're a senior at Poquoson High School. Do you know where you're going to college?
I wish to attend VMI in the fall.
All right, lots of luck. Not one of the women trying to get, huh? Wish you a lot of luck, Craig. Janice Lee, also a senior at Poquoson. What are your post-graduation plans?
Hopefully either go to Duke or Brown.
Duke or Brown, all right. Well, lots of luck with that. Matthew Morris. Matt, you are also a senior at Poquoson. Do you know where you're going next year?
I'm not sure yet, but it's probably going to be ODU or William & Mary.
Okay, great. You're going to stay in the area. It's great. And Mike Valerian, you are a junior, and I wonder if you've got any ideas of what you're going to do when you get out.
I want to go to the Naval Academy.
The Naval Academy. All right. Fantastic. Well, I wish you a lot of luck in this championship game. This is our first team round, and as you know, each question in this round is worth 20 points. A wrong answer carries no penalty, and question number 4 will have a 40-point value. So here's our first question. It's an anagram. The letters in this puzzling phrase can be rearranged to name what site that, according to the book of Revelation, will mark the last battle before the day of judgment.
Armageddon.
Armageddon, Mike, that's right. Here's a homonym. You can jam the meanings of these two clues together because they represent words that are spelled differently but are pronounced in what same way?
Current.
Current, Janice, that's right. Here's a paraphrase title. On your monitor, you see a paraphrase of the title of what short story by Edgar Allan Poe?
The Purloined Letter.
That's right, Craig, the Purloined Letter. Here's your 40-pointer. Here are 3 men who fought for the freedom of their countries. Can you place them in correct chronological order?
Bolivar, Gandhi, and Walesa.
That's correct. Good for 40 points. Good job. Here's a choice between crude petroleum, diamonds, and gold. The nation of Nigeria has the largest population of any African country, and Nigeria also leads Africa in production and export of which one of these commodities?
Crude petroleum?
That's right, crude petroleum. Here's our final question. It's a quotation. Those who do not love me cannot judge me. This bold statement was made in 1824 by what German writer and philosopher who was judged favorably for his novel Werther and his poetic drama Faust?
Goethe?
That's right, Goethe. Good job. And now it's time to meet the Salem Sun Devils. Unfortunately, the Salem cheerleaders could not be here with us, but let's meet the team, beginning with Jeff Gaynor. Jeff, you're a junior at Salem. Have you got any ideas what you may do a year from now?
Not really, but I hope to attend an art school.
An art school, fantastic. I wish you a lot of luck with that.
Thank you.
John Cartier. John, you're a senior. Have you got your post-graduation plans lined up yet?
Not exactly. I've been accepted to William & Mary and University of Richmond so far, but...
Excellent. You're still up in the air, though. Great, fantastic. Matt McKenzie. Matt, you're a senior at Salem. Do you know what you're up to next year?
University of Virginia.
Excellent. Okay, you're going to be a Cavalier.
That's right.
Fantastic. And Greg Giroux. Greg, you are a junior. I wonder if you've given it some thought as to what you might do.
Not really. Probably an in-state school, though.
An in-state school? Okay. Well, I wish you a lot of luck. There's a lot of good places to choose from. And good luck to you all in this final game. Again, each question worth 20 points except number 4. And here's our first one. On the screen, it's a hidden word question. Hidden in this phrase is the name of what barbarian tribe who invaded the Roman Empire, making their name synonymous with senseless destruction?
Vandals.
The Vandals, that's right. Homonym. Although one is a verb and the other a noun, words with these meanings can be pronounced or spelled in what same way? Got anything for me?
To press.
No, it's a grill, I'm sorry. When you grill somebody or you have open iron, we're called a grill. Here's a paraphrased title. If you look on your monitor, you'll see in paraphrased form the title of what well-known poem by Shelley?
Ode to the West Wind.
That is correct, Ode to the West Wind. Here's a 40-pointer. These 3 Russians all made the history books in different fields. Place them in chronological order, starting with the earliest.
Tchaikovsky, Trotsky, and Gagarin.
That is correct. Good for 40 points. Here's a choice. All 3 of these substances have been used in making perfumes and fragrances. Which one is named for and obtained from a cat-like animal native to Africa and Asia?
The civet.
That's right, the civet. And a quotation, good laws are begot by bad actions. This ironic argument that without crime we couldn't have justice was made in the 16th century by what Dutch philosopher best known for writing The Praise of Folly?
Erasmus.
Erasmus is correct. Good job. Let us check the score now as we go into the visual round. A very close game. Salem 240 and Poquoson 220. And it is time now for the visual round. In this round, we see a series of visual clues, and I'll ask an accompanying question. Each one carries a value of 10 points up or down, and it's head-to-head competition. So here's our first visual clue. The unlikely subject of this jaunty 1905 magazine illustration is what Italian scientist considered the father...
Salem Matt.
That's right, the father of wireless telegraphy, Marconi. Good job. America will become the best foreign soccer... let me try this again. America will welcome the best foreign soccer teams in 1994. I doubt they'll become one, but you never know. When the United States will, for the first time...
Poquoson Mike.
World Cup.
Host the World Cup. Good job, Mike. The inspiration for this Anton Refugee painting was a quote about democracy from what poet who wrote Leaves of Grass?
Salem Greg.
Whitman.
Walt Whitman is correct, Greg. Here's a math one. With log meaning log to the base 10, what is the integer value of the expression on the screen?
Poquoson Matt.
1.
1. Matt, good job. Good job. Posing daintily here is what type of tiny freshwater polyp with the same name as the multi-headed...
Poquoson Matt.
Hydra.
Hydra, that's correct. The multi-headed serpent killed by Hercules. The U.S. Patent Office used to issue patents for whiskey stills, but that was before Prohibition was mandated by what number?
Poquoson Matt.
18th.
By the 18th Amendment. That is correct, Matt. The colonial American actress Nancy Hallam was famous for her portrayals of Shakespeare heroines. Here she is seen as Imogen in what C-initialed play that Shakespeare set in ancient Britain?
Salem, Matt.
Coriolanus.
Sorry, Matt, Cymbeline, sorry. The Triton's trumpet is a carnivorous mollusk that prefers to feed on what sort of ocean echinoderm that usually have 5...
Poquoson Craig.
Starfish.
That's right, that have 5 arms or rays. Yeah, starfish, a lot easier to say than all that other stuff. You can see some of the penciled revisions on this original score by what 19th century Hungarian composer?
Poquoson Matt.
Liszt.
That's right, Matt, Liszt. And here's our last visual clue. The central figure seated here in this painting by Friedrich Heinrich Fugger is what 18th century Austrian empress on the throne during...
Poquoson Matt.
Maria Theresa.
Yes, sir, Maria Theresa. Good job. Some tough questions in that visual round. They did a great job. And at the end of that round, it's Poquoson pulling ahead. Poquoson 290, Salem 250. Let's have a little fun with the sound round now. This is where we have a series of 4 audio clues alternated between the teams. Each one carries a value of 10 points up or down. And all of the questions in this round are related to the 1990 Grammy Awards. So Poquoson, you've got the first audio clue, and here it is.
When did the choices get so hard? With so much more at stake, life gets mighty precious when there's less of it to waste.
The big winner at this year's Grammy Award ceremony was what rhythm and blues stylist whose comeback album, Nick of Time, helped her take home 4 Grammys.
Bonnie Raitt.
Yes, sir, Bonnie Raitt is correct. Salem, here is your first audio clue. Aided by Williamsburg native Bruce Hornsby's distinctive piano work, this is what former Eagle who captured the Grammy for Best Rock Vocal Male?
There's Glenn Fly and Don Henley. Take your pick.
Is it going flying?
Take your pick, Don Henley.
Don Henley.
Don Henley, you got it. Good job. Poquoson, here is your next audio clue. The Grammy for Contemporary Folk Recording went to what Georgia duo whose name suggests they are women with the blues?
Indigo Girls.
Yes, sir. Indigo Girls is correct. Here's our final audio clue, Salem.
Well, it's all right, riding around in the breeze. Well, it's all right, if you live the life you please. Well, it's all right.
The Grammy for Rock Vocal by a Group went to what band whose members included Tom Petty, George Harrison, and the late Roy Orbison?
Traveling Wilburys.
Yes, sir. That's a good job. And that brings us to the end of the first half here in the championship game. We're going to take a moment and meet the coaches and the alternates for our 2 teams. And the Poquoson High School coach is Tom Fay. Matthew Morris, you are the captain of the team. How about introducing your alternates for us?
Lindy Harper and William Morris, and we'd like to say thank you to Greg Hopkins.
Okay, great. Thanks to all of you for coming out. Now let's meet the coach of the Salem Sun Devils, Mrs. Diane Monroe. And John Cartier, how about introducing your alternates for us?
Sure. David Phelps, Ron Lapid, and Chad Fulgham.
Okay, great. Thanks to all of you for coming out for this championship game. Let us check the score at halftime. It's Poquoson 310, Salem 270, another half to go. And we begin the second half with the category round. In this round, a correct answer is worth 10 points, but an incorrect answer carries a cost of 20 points. Despite jokes about how obscure vice presidents of the United States are, many vice presidents are indelibly linked with the presidents in whose administrations they served. I will list some vice presidents. Please name the presidents with whom they held office. Number 1, Hubert Humphrey.
Poquoson Matt.
Johnson.
That's correct, Lyndon Johnson. Number 2, Aaron Burr.
Salem Gregg.
Jefferson.
That's correct, Thomas Jefferson. Number 3, Walter Mondale.
Salem Gregg.
Jimmy Carter.
That's correct. Number 4, John C. Calhoun.
Poquoson Matt.
Jackson.
That's right, Andy Jackson. Number 5, Spiro
Poquoson Craig.
Nixon.
Nixon, Spiro Agnew. That's correct. Number 6, Hannibal Hamlin.
Poquoson Matt.
Abraham Lincoln.
That's right, Abe Lincoln. Number 7, Chester A. Arthur.
Poquoson Matt.
Garfield.
Garfield is correct. Number 8, John Adams.
Salem Gregg.
Washington.
George Washington. Number 9, John Nance Garner.
Poquoson Matt.
Roosevelt.
Which one? That's right, FDR. Number 10, Calvin Coolidge.
Poquoson Matt.
Harding.
That's right, Warren Harding. Number 11, John C. Breckinridge.
Salem Gregg.
Buchanan.
That's right, James Buchanan. Number 12, Nelson Rockefeller.
Poquoson Matt.
Ford.
Gerald Ford is correct. Good job. I think we got all those right. That was tough. Okay, at the end of that round, it's Poquoson 390 and Salem 310. And it's time now for the timed round. In this round, each team gets a minute and a half to answer a series of 8 questions. Each question carries a value of 20 points up or down, but the team may pass, losing only 10 points, but allowing the other team to get a shot at it. If they get all 8 questions correct in the allotted time, they get a 25-point bonus. So Poquoson gets to go first. John, you get your pick of a red and a blue envelope.
Blue envelope.
Blue. For Mike, Matt, Janice, and Craig. A minute and a half. Lots of luck. When the inventor Thomas A. Edison married Mary Edison, his bride was how old? 2 years under the current voting age in U.S. elections.
16.
Correct. In the poem To Celia by Ben Jonson, the poet does not ask for wine, but asks that his love drink to me only with what expressive facial organs?
Thine eyes.
That's right. Edwin Franco Goldman won fame as a composer and director of what type of music in which it was said he had inherited the mantle of John Philip Sousa?
Marches.
That's correct. Here's a math question. If a right circular cone 4 feet high has a base 6 square feet in area, what is the volume of the cone in cubic feet?
Okay. 8 cubic feet.
How many?
8 cubic feet.
Yes, sir. In 1861, George P. Marsh presented his credentials to King Victor Emmanuel II, becoming the first U.S. ambassador to what newly unified European country?
Italy.
Correct. Choice. When an airplane is in straight and level flight, are the total dynamic forces acting on it greater upward, greater downward, or equal?
Equal.
Correct. Everyone is born a king and most people die in exile, said what Anglo-Irish author who also wrote about death in Reading Jail?
Oscar Wilde.
Correct. The phrase, the plumed knight of American politics, was used by supporters to describe what Republican... And I did not get to finish it. I was going to ask you about James G. Blaine. Sorry. Okay, Salem, we have a red envelope of questions for you. Jeff, John, Matt, and Greg, a minute and a half. Good luck. In the graduating class at West Point, the cadet with the lowest passing grades is known by the name of what animal, also found in the zodiac sign of Capricorn?
The goat.
Correct. Civic boosters have suggested that home of the cheeseburger be added to the official nickname of what western U.S. metropolis, better known as the Mile High City?
Denver. Denver.
Correct. Dutch artist Jep Nicholas helped revive in the 20th century what colorful art form which had reached an earlier peak in the windows of medieval cathedrals?
Stained glass windows.
Correct. Math question. If an angle has a secant of 3, what is its cosine?
1/3.
Correct. Science fiction author John Shirley wrote a series of books grouped under what title, suggesting the phenomenon of a shadow cast by one celestial body passing in front of another?
Eclipse.
Correct. Choice. A cubic foot of space will hold 62.4 pounds of water at 20 degrees centigrade. Will a cubic foot of ice weigh the same, more, or less?
Less.
Correct. A gentle lady named Isabella Jones is remembered in literary history because she suggested to what English romantic poet that he write about the eve of St. Agnes?
Keats.
Correct. Unable to sustain his delicate balance as both monarch and common man, what French citizen king was ousted in an 1848 revolution?
Citizen King, 1848.
Robespierre. Robespierre. Nice. Get that. Three.
Robespierre.
Sorry, it's Louis Philippe. Sorry. 7 out of 8. That's the end of that round. Let us check the score now before we go into the final round of play. Poquoson at 5:30, Salem at 4:30, and we have one more round to go. Anything can happen because each question in this round is worth 20 points up or down. I've got 20 questions right here, and I will ask as many as I can in the time we have left in the game. 20 points up or down each. Lots of luck to you. A Soviet hockey player named Sergei Starikov is expected to be a news star on what New Jersey?
Salem Jeff.
The Devils.
That's right, the New Jersey Devils hockey team. That's right. Although Oklahoma State Fair is in Oklahoma City, writer Brian Fair Berkey names what T-initialed city in...
Salem John.
Topeka.
No, I'm sorry, a city in Oklahoma would be Tulsa. Topeka's in Kansas. The nation of Thailand continues to maintain...
Salem Matt.
Siam. No.
Now, I was going to ask about their neighboring Asian country where the Khmer Rouge faction still seeks power. It's Kampuchea or Cambodia. Even such American trumpet players as Louis Armstrong customarily used what French word to describe the proper placement of the lips upon...
Poquoson Mike.
Embouchure.
Embouchure, that's right, the proper placement of the lips on the mouthpiece. Civil War surgeons had to work fast with one battlefield doctor reporting that he had to amputate legs in what number of seconds, equaling 2/3 of a minute?
Salem Greg.
40.
That's correct. The Bishop of Urgell in Spain shares with the President of France the joint title...
Salem John.
Andorra.
That's right. Of head of state of what small country in the Pyrenees? It's Andorra. That is correct. Here's a choice question. If all of the lights on a string of Christmas trees went out because a single bulb is...
Salem John.
Series.
That's right. I was going to ask, was the series parallel or network? You got it. William Penn had trouble with land claims because half of what became Pennsylvania had been promised to the first Lord Baltimore and his heirs in what family?
Salem Greg.
Calvert.
That's right. In what family that settled Maryland? Good job, Greg. The title of a novel by Cortland Fitzsimmons speaks of what large number of witnesses equaling 7 times the large number of maniacs in the name of a...
Poquoson Matt.
70,000.
That's right. 7 times 10,000 maniacs. You got it. Even if you have only one U.S. dollar bill to your name, you'll find printed on it what Latin phrase that means...
Salem Jeff.
E pluribus unum.
That's right, that means one out of many. The Marx Brothers clowned their way through a night at the opera, but novelist Rémy de Gourmont seriously described a night in what European Grand Duchy, now part of NATO?
Poquoson Matt.
Luxembourg.
That is correct, Matt, Luxembourg. The Red-Headed Outfield was a sports story by what writer who was best known for Riders of the Purple Sage?
Poquoson Mike.
Zane Grey.
Yes, sir, another Western, Zane Grey. If the signers of the U.S. Constitution took a civics test today, they might be confused by reference to which number amendment that gave women the right...
Poquoson Craig.
19.
Yes, sir, the 19th Amendment gave women the vote. Although a triangle only intersects a circle 3 times when it is inscribed in the circle, what is the maximum number of times...
Salem John.
6.
Yes, sir, the maximum number of times that it could intersect a circle is 6. The Shore of Love, a novel by the Soviet writer Osip Honchar, describes the shores of what sea that is bordered by Turkey and Bulgaria?
Poquoson Matt.
Black Sea.
Yes, sir, the Black Sea, as well as the Soviet Union. It is believed that the last surviving veteran of the American Civil War was Walter Williams, who had served in a unit from what westernmost of the Confederate States?
Poquoson Matt.
Texas.
Yes, sir, Texas. One of the saddest scenes in Shakespeare is when King Lear carries in the murdered corpse of which of his...
Salem John.
Ophelia.
It's Cordelia, the one who had truly loved him, Cordelia. Choice question. Which of the following electromagnetic waves has the longest wavelength? Is it ultraviolet rays, infrared rays, or radio waves?
Poquoson Janice.
Radio.
Yes, radio waves. In 1869, a congressman named Theodore Pomeroy was elected to serve for just 1 day in what office today occupied by Tom Foley?
Poquoson Janice.
Speaker of the House.
Yes, ma'am, that's correct. A Rabble of Waters, a novel published in 1981 by Jeffrey Jenkins, accurately predicted that the following year Argentina would invade what British-held islands?
Salem, Matt.
Falklands.
The Falkland Islands. That's correct, and that's the end of the game. Now we are going to take just a few minutes to total up the score in this championship game. What a game. Salem with the early lead, but Poquoson came on during the visual round, refused to yield as the game went on, and the final score is Poquoson 7-10, Salem 5-30. Poquoson has successfully defended its championship. And now I'd like to present our general manager and president, the big guy here at WHRO, to present the awards, John Morrison.
Thank you, Jim, and good evening, everyone. We certainly want to offer our congratulations to tonight's runner-up team, the Salem Sun Devils, and the champion again, as Jim said, 6 of 8 years, to the Poquoson Islanders. It's my pleasure to be able to introduce the coach and principal from the Salem Sun Devils. Come on in. Diane Monroe, the coach, and Wiley French, the principal, and present to you the runner-up trophy, which will be properly engraved and kept at the school with our congratulations. We hope that you'll have a great team again next year. And finishing number 2 in this tough competition is no shame at all. Our congratulations to you and your school and the Sun Devils. Congratulations. And congratulations to the Salem Sun Devil team behind me. They are certainly scholars to be sure, and we thank them for their participation. And now to the winning team again, the Poquoson Islanders, their coach Tom Fay and the associate principal David Hines. Come on in, gentlemen, and this is getting to be a real habit. Congratulations. Here is the trophy that will stay with the school for winning this year's competition if it's academic, and I hope, Mr. Hines, you can get this back, because this is a heavy trophy. This is the Albert L. Ayers Award for Academic Excellence in Hampton Roads, and it goes to the Poquoson Islanders with our congratulations.
Great playing by both teams, and what a great bunch they are. I'd like to say thanks to Jeff, John, Matt, and Greg for Salem. You played well all the way through. It was great having you. John and Matt as seniors, good luck next year, and good luck in the rest of your senior year. Jeff and Greg, I know I'm going to see you back next year representing the Sun Devils. And Poquoson, what a team, what a game. Mike, Matt, Janice, and Craig, some fantastic playing. 3 of your seniors, Mike, Janice, and Craig, I wish you a lot of luck in your senior year, the rest of it, and next year. Mike, I know I'll see you back next year representing the Islanders. To the coaches, Tom and Diane, good job, fantastic. And thanks to all of the players and the coaches on all of the teams, the volunteers, and the greatest crew in Hampton Roads for a great year. Thanks to all of you. We'll see you next season on It's Academic. Let's go congratulate them.